What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? It's RJ Fantasy Football Talk, and we are back. We are back for every week, people. We are back. We apologize again, but hey, neither here nor there. We're gonna squeeze a bunch of stuff in tonight, and let's get it going. I'm Rodney. This is Jay. What's up, bro?
Nothing much, man. Like you said, we got the countdown clock. I always forget my hands. There it is.
It's
Uh,
right there. It's right there. Good
Kickoff
spot.
for the regular season in 34 days. But we got football tomorrow night with the Hall of Fame game. Uh, it's just the Cardinals and the Panthers. But are you excited?
It's football. You got to be excited. I mean, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I want to see what Carson Beck look like.
Yeah.
Even though it's going to be against the twos, maybe some threes thrown in there somewhere. Because I have a feeling he may play a little bit this year. No matter if they gave the other quarterback some money. I just feel like he's going to get on the field just because they're going to be losing,
Yeah.
and they want to see what they got before the 2027 draft. So I'm a little excited. It's football though, so can't be that upset.
It like you said, it's the regulars. I mean, the preseason, so it's not too uncommon that certain players won't be in there. So not surprised that they're gonna start with Carson Beck instead of Jacoby Brissett. The only disappointment I have is we don't get to see the rookie Jeremiah Love
You ain't gonna
out
see him.
there. Eh,
I,
I
I
hope to
would.
see it. Look, if I'm in Dynasty, I hope I get to see a little bit of something before the
Mm,
season starts.
I wouldn't personally do it. I mean, I would play him that third game, maybe
Right.
a few stretches, like a few series, but not too much because the way these injuries are happening now and around the league, you got to want to be careful. I kind of wrap these guys, some of your good guys anyway, in a bubble
Right.
that way they won't get hurt. I mean, you might as well ask 49ers. We'll talk about that though. So, yeah, so we had a bunch of injuries.
Yeah.
So definitely, um, man, it's a it's tough time for us out here, man.
you,
I
you,
tell you, boy.
you want to jump? We can get started with you guys because for many years the 49ers have led the league in injuries, and
Yeah.
then we got Ricky Purcell for like every season of his young career has been hurt or shot, one of the two.
Well, I look at it this way. Um, I don't want to call. Well, I'm gonna call it what it is. I
Uh
think
huh.
he's injury prone. And it didn't start in college because he wasn't injured in college. But I think it's more of a he's injured. He's been hurt every season that he's been playing in the league. Whether and I the thing about him getting shot, I'm glad he was able to recover from that. But every other injury was really on him and him not taking care of his body, or either his body just failing him. So
Right.
we had to make a move on getting another receiver in there. And the thing is, you drafted him early, like you moved up to get him,
Right.
and he's hurt again. So I hope he recovers from this injury. But again, he's going in his third year and basically is a wash. So you can't get that fifth year option. They normally don't pick it up
Yeah.
if you're not playing with him. So
I can't
he's
see
probably
them
not going to see
doing that.
that. So
Nah. I mean, he hasn't been on the field long enough to really justify a fifth year option unless he's going to sign for the real discount. But with him
mhm.
hurt, you get to bring back Debo. How you feeling about that?
I mean, that don't help the situation though. I mean, because you just rewinding time instead of you.
Uh,
I would go find somebody else that's a little bit younger to bring in there. But honestly, if you asking me, you gonna use Debo for what he is, and that's he gonna be a gadget guy. He gonna kick
right.
returns, a little bit of running back. He gonna be the wide back that he was 2020, 2021. That don't bode well for him at 30 years old, trying to play running back. I mean, nah, cool. And then Mike Evans is hurt. He got a quad injury,
Yeah.
so he might
Well,
not play at all this preseason.
look, first
I don't
ballot
know.
Hall of Famer, just in case the third man tunes in. First ballot Hall of Famer Mike Evans, I think was a good signing if he's healthy, and he's at that stage of his career where health is a question mark. And signing with the 49ers, to me, it's tough. Because, like I said, you
I don't.
guys always have players hurt. It's a hospital ward sometimes on that
Well,
team.
I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. It is
Okay.
a good signing on paper when you look at it,
Yeah.
but if you really go back and look at the last 2 years of Hall of Fame Mike Evans' career, he's missed a lot of games because of injuries that pertain to his ankles and legs and things of that nature. So when you really think about it, yes, it's a good
Yeah.
signing on paper. You're giving him $25 million, but at the same time, I would have went younger. I would have went somebody. I would have got somebody in there that's a little bit younger than he is. He's turning 33,
Yeah.
so he's on the back end of his career, if anything. And you gave him 25. It's like you're giving money away. I mean, we print money for somehow and just give it away. I don't know, man. I think it's crazy. So, and then we got our other rookie quarterback struggling. Wide receiver, he hurt.
Yeah.
He missed a couple of days of practice. So I don't know. And they blame it on the substation, man. I don't know. Substation ruining our team this year. So we'll see.
Whatever it is at this point, it's hard to think it's a coincidence how hurt those players are. So we'll see.
Well, but I will say this though. So Ricky Person followed the direction of the 49ers when it came to rehabbing
Mm-hmm.
and actually listening to them step by step. And they told him not to get surgery and to let it heal
Right.
over time. Now, you can make the argument that Brandon Ayuk maybe was right about the situation by not listening to them as far as rehab, because at the end of the day, he didn't have any setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Person did. So again, I just think it's a little shaky when you look at it now when he physically is still not ready to go. That's all I'm saying.
Well, kinda. Speaking of Brandon Ayuk, a lot of the rumors where he was gonna go and sign with the Commanders, but we saw today the Commanders signed Stephon Diggs. What do you think about that pickup, and how does that affect their offense for your fantasy purposes?
I mean, you're getting the older stuff on Diggs. You get somebody who he can get you 1,000 yards. But to me, good move because they need. You couldn't honestly, you can't name their second wide receiver that outside of Terry McLaurin.
Yeah,
Who was their second receiver? It was a rookie who they really probably didn't trust, and they needed to bring in somebody anyway that was a little
yeah,
bit more of a veteran. So I'm not upset with the move. I think the move is good just because they need to kind of help that receiving group.
definitely.
But what about this now? What about you bringing Stephon Diggs and Brandon Ayuk? How would that help it then?
Hmm. Well, I say this: you're gonna get both of them.
He,
That would be deep. And if I were a Jaden Daniels person, I would be super excited for fantasy purposes. Uh, hey, let's hope. I hope Brandon Ayuk gets signed somewhere because it doesn't look
yeah,
like the 49ers are going to be that spot. Because I figured
I
they
don't
would have.
know.
I figured they would have made a bigger push to get him in the building before signing Debo if that were the route they were going. So, but who knows?
Well,
Maybe they get the whole
honestly,
gang back together.
I look at it this way. I feel like they trying to really tarnish his career by not letting him
Yeah.
go because they know, and I have a weird feeling they're gonna either release him a week or so before the
Right
season
before.
starts, and that
What's
way
the
he's not gonna
deadline
have.
you said before they have to pay him?
So really, he's on the non-football list right now. So
Uh,
they're not paying him anything at the moment because he's on the
right.
non-football list because of his injury. Because he never came in to actually get cleared of just to do. They have to do a test to make sure everything is good on the knee. He never came in for that. So he's on the non-football list. So he's not getting paid at all.
Right. Right.
But I
Yeah.
think what they're gonna do is because I think it gets worse if the season goes on and he's still not playing, he's just going to be a distraction at some point. So you got to kind of move him or either just release him or something because nobody's trading for him. So I think they're going to release him probably that last preseason game right before that because he's not going to have a training camp. So that puts him behind the eight ball as far as being in game
Right.
shape. So that's what I think they'll do. Because I don't think if you sit him on that non-football list the whole entire season, then it's like you get looked at as a bad person at some point
Right.
because they're gonna say, you know what? Well, why are y'all doing this when he's healthy? Y'all just trying to destroy this man's career and not pay him because that's what they're doing right now. So we'll
That's
see what
what it's
happens.
looking like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, if you were with us last, well, I was gonna say last week, but it's been about 2 or so weeks. But if you were with us last time, we went through some quarterback tiers. Um, Tonight, before the preseason officially kicks off, we're gonna quickly run through some of our players in the other positions, and as we promised, we're gonna post the full list. But we're gonna try to hit at least the top 10 with a little sprinkling of other players at other positions as we go along tonight. And like I said, we'll give you the full one on social media or we'll post it somewhere. Slight recap on quarterbacks. If you go back and watch that show if you missed it, but a rough going at our top players where we had Josh Allen in the top tier, of course, Matthew Stafford, Lamar Jackson. I see Nita signing in, and she probably already wants to put something about that Josh Allen comment in there. But we had Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, we had Lamar Jackson up there, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, who's a player that traditionally we both love a lot more than I think the general fantasy
yeah,
football audience. Mahomes making a comeback maybe to be in that list. I thought he was going to be injured. It's looking like maybe he'll
I
be ready
told
week
you.
one. Fingers crossed.
I
We'll
told you.
we'll see. I love Drake May.
Oh,
Even though it
my.
was a given that it was only been 1 year of success. We had Caleb Williams. Then we had players like Trevor Lawrence, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, and if I didn't say Jared Goff, I think I did. He was also
Yeah.
pretty high on our list. So those were a quick rundown of our top quarterbacks, and of course there were several others that we mentioned. Go back, watch it. Tonight we're going to be talking about all the other skills positions. Before hit a little preview, we're going to try to do a mock draft for you all coming in next week.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to comment. You wild, Nita. Don't be gonna do some other ones. So running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. We're gonna talk about them all. Maybe even kickers. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you want us to get started with?
Let's go with star receivers. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Now, y'all, I wanted to put this out here. We didn't discuss.
We have not had a chance to talk about this yet. So
Haven't had a chance, so we just going based off of what we think. And I would say 9 times out of 10, we are normally on the same page. So we'll see.
well, my top group of wide receivers, I got 6 guys that I think are tier one above everybody else. That's Puka, Jamar Chase, JSN, Jackson Smith, and Jigma, for those that don't know, Amon Ross, St. Brown, the Sun God, CeeDee Lamb, and I put George Pickens because I think Dallas will have the two of the top receivers. They did it. They had 2,000-yard guys a year ago, and that's with CeeDee Lamb missing a whole bunch of time. I think they can both easily hit 1,300 apiece in that offense, and that's the reason we both like Dak Prescott so much. Because look, they may not get to the playoffs, they may not win as many games as their fans want them to, but they will sling that rock.
Well, I have to care about if they wanted that.
Yeah, right.
Now, I agree with your list. The only thing I have to add is Jefferson. Um,
Yeah,
you can put Jefferson up there just out of respect of the last year or so of him having
yeah,
quarterback issues, and him still somehow, some way getting 1,000
yeah.
yards.
I was like, he got 1,000 last year with that crap show at quarterback.
Somehow getting 1,000 yards and 100 receptions. So you can't really take that away from him. He does have a quarterback issue at the moment, but
Yeah,
I figure it works itself out, honestly, from a standpoint of they got to pick one, and one of them got to play, and one of them need to be told you need to get him the
yeah.
football, whether you like it or not. So or you're gonna be on the sideline holding the clipboard. So I'm just saying, I think and you think it's gonna be Kyler Murray starting off.
I, f- I feel like they don't bring him in unless they trying to start with him. But do I think he keeps the job the whole year? I would be surprised. I say between him and McCarthy, I wouldn't be surprised if they both play at least 5 games apiece at a minimum. You're gonna see them both.
I think you bring them in at the price point that you got him at. You definitely got to bring him
Yeah,
in because the Cardinals are paying him a bunch of money to go away.
true.
So
They
he's
play Call of
playing for
Duty.
the league minimum. Yeah, he playing for the league minimum best right now, and it's really a chance to see can he resurge his career
Yeah,
playing in Minnesota, if that helps. But I don't think JJ is gonna just sit back and just let him
yeah.
actually take the job from him. I think it's gonna be more like a competition than people think.
I hope
So
so.
I think Jefferson is a big part of that, and I think you gotta put him in there just out of just total respect that what he did last year was incredible for that to happen with that quarterback situation because JJ wasn't great last year. There's
No,
no
he,
ifs
he
ands
was
buts about it. He wasn't great. He
he
was
was
terrible.
awful.
Yes, but I think
But
he had maybe one good game out of that, like
yeah,
good game last year, but that's it. Um, but you got to put him there just out of respect. And I agree with everything else
yeah,
because I feel like CD and Pickens are one. They're like a one. I don't know if it's a 1A, 1B or like a
yeah.
1A, 1A plus, whatever
Well,
you want to call
to
it.
me, it depends on the day. Either,
Yeah. I mean,
like,
it's like if you can get both of them, which is impossible probably to get, but if you were able to get both of them, you're probably doing something right in your draft.
well, I admitted in my talk last season that I had in a dynasty league Pickens and CD Lamb, and I traded Pickens away, uh, and it
I
was
didn't.
easily the biggest mistake of last year's fantasy football season. I thought I was getting a good return at tight end, uh, but
I don't know
yeah,
why.
it was not worth it was not worth it. I would love to have them both with this, especially since CD Lamb missed so much time last year.
Oh yeah.
I definitely regretted that. But I did have Justin Jefferson in my next tier, so I gave you 6, make him 7. Who are you rounding off in the top 10 of the guys that are left?
So I'm doing Drake London. Uh,
Yeah, I like that.
I don't.
I don't know
I
how I feel
think.
about the quarterback situation,
Yeah, I was
but I
about to
think
say that.
he's. But look, if like you say, if Justin Jefferson can put up 1,000 with JJ McCarthy, sure, why not Drake London?
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
when you think about it, I'm saying, you know what, bad quarterback situation,
yeah,
but Drake London is that good of a wide receiver that he's gonna get his regardless. So I'm not really upset about that. So
hmm,
definitely Drake London, Nico Collins,
yeah.
and then I'm gonna say Chris Olave to round it out.
Okay,
Um,
I like that.
I think Chris Olave, man, for what he did those final 8 games last year, you have to pay attention to that because he was on fire with the rookie coming in
Yeah,
doing work. That's what and Tyler Shuck did work last year. We gonna talk about Tyler Shuck on another day,
yeah.
but Tyler Shuck definitely is a reason why he ended up getting off a lot
Mm-hmm.
in that second half of the year. So you gotta put him there. A lot of people not gonna respect him. But to me, he's in my top 10, bro. He's a top 10 receiver for me.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I had those guys all in my top group. So no arguments from me. I'm hoping, not just for some people are a little bit concerned about C.J. Stroud's maybe off-season conditioning, saying he's getting a little bit pudgy. I can't talk. I got a little bit of pudge myself, but they don't
Look,
pay me
man, ain't
millions
nobody.
of dollars to throw the ball around. Are you having any fears on Nico
No,
or that offense? I'm not too worried. Look, they talked
I
about
think
Patrick
Nico is gonna
Mahomes.
have a
Yeah.
bounce back year.
Uh huh.
Yeah, they said Kelsey was fat. I
Yeah,
mean, what are we saying
Kelsey
here?
was fat.
I think these
Mahomes had a
guys.
dad bod, but they can produce.
I think what's probably the thing is these guys. They don't like if you think about like the 2000s. They don't train like they used to. A lot of these guys come in not overweight, but they don't look as strong. So when they get in
Right.
football shape, I think CJ Stroud gonna have a comeback year, man. I do. I think he didn't have a great year last year.
Nah, he did
It
not.
wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. So I think he comes back and he plays much better. Nico's biggest problem is Nico staying healthy, and
Yeah.
that's not even on C.J. Stroud. That's on Nico. So Nico, as long as he's healthy, I think Nico is fine. So I'm with that, and I like the running back situation. I love. So yeah,
We gonna get on those running backs later,
yeah,
but
love that running back
I love it
situation.
too. We
So
got a question in the chat. We talked about CJ Stroud maybe being a little out of shape. Have you seen Travis Hunter bringing the guns out?
Travis look good.
Yeah,
Travis picked up about they say he picked up about 12 to 14
yeah.
pounds of muscle. Now my question is,
Mm,
and I was looking on the Yahoo app earlier
okay.
today. They had him listed as a wide receiver again. I don't know if he's still going to play wide receiver or he's going to strictly play on the defensive side. But he does look like he came in from that injury in shape. Like he looked like he had
Yeah,
to work out. So I ain't mad at it. Not one bit. So I'm here for he. I think he's gonna have a good year because if you think about the last before he got hurt,
mm-hmm.
he was starting to get in his groove a little bit with Trevor Lawrence,
Yeah.
and he was playing more on the offensive side more than anything. So I think he gonna be all right. I see. I
Now,
see. I don't
now,
know how much receiver he gonna play though. That's my
yeah, that
only
that
issue.
I was about to bring that up. I was gonna say the muscle to me seems like it's I want to be stronger on defense
Hmm.
than I was a year ago. It can be beneficial at wide receiver too because you still gotta
He's still not
work on you
losing the
got
speed
the
though.
yeah you got that too. But last year Travis Hunter was the cheat code as everyone called it because you got a
Yeah.
defensive guy who's gonna put up wide receiver numbers. I I still feel even though he's listed at wide receiver, they're gonna primarily have him work on being a defensive back. So I don't think the cheat code is quite there as much. I still draft him if I'm in a defensive league because like
But
at this they're
where
gonna
do you
find
draft
ways
him
to
though?
get the ball in his hand. See,
So if you're in a not a dynasty sort of league,
right.
but more of a PPR like redraft league. So what do you really see yourself drafting him in what round? Like is he because he's really not
Mm.
he's not your top 10.
Well,
I mean he's really not even your top 15, 20.
is
Like it's
this
going to
is this like a IDP league where I have defense, or is it am I drafting him simply as he's gonna fill in a wide receiver spot?
because I know some leagues got him listed as a DB only, but some leagues got
Right.
him listed as a DB slash wide receiver now still. So just say a league that has both, where he can play both sides.
Right.
Do you
So
like? Does that value still stick for him?
last year in IDP leagues, he was, and for those that don't know, IDP are those individual defensive player positions you can put in. Sometimes
Mm.
people have leagues where you pick a team defense. Sometimes you pick out individual players. He was the number one defensive player coming off the boards a year ago, just because you were expected to get wide receiver plus defensive numbers. Do I still recommend him being like that top defensive player? Per, I'm gonna for tonight say no. I don't think I give him that kind of value because
Okay.
I right now I'm thinking he's gonna be primary defense. You might get a couple of special teams plays, maybe you'll return the kick, or maybe they put in a few gadget plays so they have a mid wide receiver. So I don't think you get that value like you were expecting last year. So I let someone else be the first one to grab him on a defensive league. If I'm playing in a league where it's um, I don't get individual defense and I'm only relying on wide receiver numbers, I think he goes undrafted in one of those leagues because I don't
Oh
think I'm
wait.
gonna. If you're not getting him in a defensive spot and you have to put him in as a wide receiver, there's not a wide receiver. I picked the third best wide receiver on most teams before I would go with Travis Hunter with the amount I think he's going to
Really?
play at wide receiver this year. So he's a leave for the free agency waiver wire pickups if it's not IDP. If it's IDP though, then I still put a high value on him, just not as high as last year. So maybe he's not a number one pick, but he's sure probably just because of the chance
Mhm.
of getting those numbers. I say he's still going to be a top 10 kind of defensive player because you're willing to gamble in IDP because you can always drop him and pick up someone else if you're not going to get the value that you think you're going to get. But I still have him as a top 10, maybe as low as 15 defensive player. Uh,
So, do they use him at kick return?
I
Do you
would.
have you heard?
I he is so
Would too,
talented.
but
I find a way to get the ball in his hand. If it's not going to
yeah,
be consistently a wide receiver, I'm getting him the ball on special teams. There's no way because they drafted him so high. You
yeah.
got to get your value from it. If you don't get two-way play out of Travis Hunter, you wasted that draft pick.
So let me ask. So, because we looking at
Mm-hmm.
so we had two wide receivers that wasn't primary wide receivers last year
Mm-hmm.
actually be in the top five.
Yeah.
Um, the top five of receivers last year. Now, does that change how you draft a player, or because we got two, and I'm gonna give you the names,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you to tell me what you think about.
I got one in mind already. I don't know if the guy I'm thinking of was top five, but I know he was pretty. I have two guys in mind that I do know
Oh,
were
we're on the same.
1,000 yard guys. But
We're on the same
what are your
page. Then.
names? What are your names?
Turpin and Dyke. All right. So
Okay, you went further out than I was going, but I do like those because you got you for in both of their cases you got special teams
mhm.
points for them, and they ended up being top players but only if you get special team punt return, kick return kinds of points for them. I still have Dikey in one of DK. I think it's right. I forget. I still have him in a dynasty league,
Oh yeah.
and I'm hoping that he gets that kind of play this year. So I like both of them. Um,
Oh, when you think about it, right?
but I will say they're not going to be top names of wide receivers, so you can probably get both of even in leagues where you get those special team points. People don't think about that a lot, so you can probably still get both either one of them pretty late. No one's going to jump out like in the fourth round.
What you know about him?
Yeah, even if you know about it, because
Oh no, man.
remember going back in the days. Uh, I'm gonna mess up his name because of a joke that our producer and I had. But Darren Sproles,
My, my, I used to drop Darren Sproles as my second running back
yeah.
every year. It
but
was not the year
but a lot of people won't hip on that game, and so he would go a lot later than he probably should have in leagues.
every year. Darren
Yeah,
Sproles would be the 20th running back off the board
yeah,
sometimes, and he would give you top five running back
all the
numbers
time.
every year. And Darren
Right.
Sproles was so good for that. And it's I ain't gonna say it's the same thing because Darren Sproles was
Yeah,
the running back,
it's a
kick
little bit
returner,
different. Yeah.
and the punt returner. So he did a little bit of everything. He was on the field the whole time. Dyke is like the number two receiver and the kick returner
Is he
and
going to
the
be the
punt
number two
returner.
receiver this year? I don't think he will be.
Yeah. Who was in number two?
Well, in Tennessee, and I was going one of the names I was thinking of is there. They have Carnell Tate, who they just drafted, and Wandale
He's the
Robinson
one.
is there now. And one when you were talking about wide receivers that kind of finished way higher than expected, I was thinking Wandale Robinson because I had
Okay.
him in one of my leagues. And he saved the day because I had injuries and underperforming players. Wandale Robinson was 1,000 yards receiver that nobody saw coming. I don't think he's going to be that good in Tennessee, but I think he can step up and be that number two guy.
Okay, I give you that. So
Yeah,
Carnell Tate is definitely the one. Wayne
yeah.
Robinson is
Cardinal
two.
Tate's the obvious one.
But
Yeah.
even if you play him at because Dyke ended as the number one
Yeah,
receiver last year on that team. Like those last couple games, he was
yeah.
the defected number one. So, um, I would say if you think about playing him in the slot, still he's on the field.
He's gonna.
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
he's. That's why I kept him in the dynasty league because they didn't really utilize him initially at wide receiver as much. I think he's
They
gonna
did
get a
it every
lot
year.
more. Even if he's not the two, if he's the three, he's gonna be on the field a lot more regularly than you saw
So
a
let me
year ago.
ask you: do you draft? So from
Hmm.
a draft perspective, like a veteran like us, do you go in and say, you know what, man, I ain't even tripping over these other receivers, man? Like because if I don't
Right.
get them, like I still have these two, three guys over here I know that's gonna
Hmm.
get me. And what y'all don't realize is he had 1900 return
There you go.
yards last year, which is equivalent to basically 1900 yards like a
Hmm.
receiver would have. That's essentially what he had last year. So
If you're getting a
I
point
think,
for every 10 yards, that's almost
yeah.
200 points added to your total for the year. So that's significant, right?
So that's a lot of points. So when you really think about it, you're saying, you know what, I can get these guys probably in the later, and I mean late
Yeah.
third round, instead of sacrificing
Hmm.
uh extra receiver that you know you got somebody that can fill in that role no matter what. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, and we got a lot of drafts together. No matter what, we gonna be drafting together. So my thing is, I that is my initial thought going in.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, you know what? If I can't grab this guy, I'm gonna keep watching the boy. But you don't want to go too late,
Yeah.
knowing that other people know about him. But
I want to say,
you kind
if
of
I'm
want to
in the
be.
league with you or someone like you, I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have the trigger finger ready because like he's thinking about it. It's round 10. I might need to make this move before it
Yeah,
gets too
so it's
late.
like,
Right.
okay, do I really want to make this move, right? So
Yeah.
those are, to me, those are two surprising guys I think people are really not going to talk about. Especially Turpin. Turpin is going to get
Yeah.
a lot of kick returns. He does. That's all he does.
That's
Kick
right.
returns. He play. You got to think about it. CD and Pickett's going to take a lot of that. First, he's going to take a lot of that.
Yeah.
So it's like he's like the what fifth man on the totem pole, probably lower than that, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. So he's going to get a lot of reps in that return game. It just, man, if they average 10 yards per return again, well, just per kick, that's 100 yards. They're literally that's
Yeah.
10 points,
It's
and
it's
don't let
it's
them
free
score.
money.
Lord have mercy.
Right.
It's
Hmm.
like you're stealing money all the time. So it's like, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, if y'all thinking about if y'all in a league where punt returns, because think about it, the league is trying to get people to return kickoffs.
Hmm.
So they're going back to that. They're making it more, it's kind of like more entertaining, put
Yeah.
it that way. So think about those guys when you are drafting receivers, because those guys did put up a lot of points last year.
You mentioned strategy and how to do this. That's a great one. But as I've said, if you've been watching R&J for several years, to me, wide receiver is the most dime a dozen
Mhm.
position in fantasy football as far as offensive players are concerned. We talked about our top tier guys. I get one of them early, um, and then maybe a few other names we didn't get to mention, like an Abuka. If you think
Oh, yeah.
Malik Neighbors is going to come back, McMillan down in Carolina, there's some names that I'm willing to go second for if I really want to get a guy like a Jamar Chase. You're gonna have to go first round, right? But I'm willing to go second round, maybe third round on those wide receivers we talked. And then I'm sitting on my hands at wide receiver probably the rest of the draft. Well, not the rest of the draft, but multiple rounds before I go back to wide receiver again. Because there's always those guys like you mentioned, DK and Turpin. I mentioned Wandale Robinson, a name I didn't say. I was also thinking about early Michael Wilson out in
Arizona.
Arizona. Thank you.
Mhm.
There was 1,000 yard wide receiver nobody saw coming. There's always a wide receiver, Jacoby Myers. There's always those guys that you can pick up later. So for me, I only spend one early pick on a wide receiver. Then I'm sitting back and I'm just gonna pick off all these guys that everyone else slept on early because That's unless there's an injury to that top guy, you got people that can fill in those roles easily at wide receiver. So
So let me ask you, got one more, and then we can move on.
yeah.
How early is DJ Moore going?
See, I was gonna ask you some names of players.
I mean, we think, like, come on,
Yeah, I was
we
gonna ask
always
you
think
some
alike,
names of
but
players that we haven't mentioned that you would recommend. And DJ Moore was one of the ones I was thinking about. How early does DJ Moore go? He had
I'm gonna throw that idea. I'm gonna just give it to you, right? Think about Diggs coming
yeah
from Minnesota, going to Buffalo, first year. Because we ain't even gonna talk about second year because they was on the same page by that time.
yeah
But first year Diggs in Buffalo with Josh Allen.
monster
Are we getting
numbers.
the same thing with DJ Moore in Buffalo with Josh Allen? Because think about this
hmm
for a moment now. DJ Moore is not going top 10.
Yeah,
DJ Moore at best is going from 11 to
yeah,
20 in
at
any
best.
case of a draft. So 11 to 20 at best. So you can have a 11 to 20, basically second, third round wide receiver be a top five wide receiver by the end of the year. That's what I'm thinking about DJ Moore because I think DJ Moore walks in to that situation because he is the bona fide number
He's
one
the
receiver
guy.
because they haven't had that.
Yeah.
So what round? How you feel? Like who is he going over and what round? Like how do you feel? Because
I,
I can name a couple of receivers I can take him over.
I can say a lot of receivers I take him over, but for me personally, anything above the fourth round, I think is too early for DJ Moore.
Okay.
Uh, Now, I will say counter to my own argument. Josh Allen is a known top quarterback in a lot of people's mind. I'm not saying it's the truth, but he's going to be an early pick. If you're
Okay.
going to pick a
Don't say you
if
heard
you're
that.
going to pick a quarterback that early, you probably want his wide receiver early as well. I
Okay.
think DJ Moore because let's be truthful. He had
Yeah.
1,000 yard season in Chicago
Hmm.
after doing it, and you can say it's quarterback, you can say it's the cold weather, because they didn't have a single 1,000 yard receiver in Chicago last year. They had a whole bunch of guys with 600-700 yards. Maybe the ball got spread around too much. That is not going to be a problem with Buffalo. The ball ain't getting spread around. Josh
Now,
Allen is going to DJ Moore like a fanatic. So I think he slipped out of the first couple of maybe late third, but for me, I see him as a fourth round guy who could easily, if he gets those Stephon Diggs numbers you talked about,
I'm
easily
just saying.
be in the top 10 of wide receivers. So he's one of my semi sneak attacks. I think a lot of people see it coming, but I think just based off his production the last couple of years, he maybe slips under a few names. Let me throw one out for you. Um, who do you take first in this scenario? Devonta Smith in Philly, or do you take DJ Moore? They're
DJ
both going to
Moore.
be the number one wide receivers, but you go.
DJ Moore. Only because
Uh,
we and I just want to say this. Why are people down on Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts is I'm hearing conversations of Brock Purdy's better than Jalen Hurts. Like, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a
mhm.
guy that has won a Super
Got a
Bowl
Super Bowl
and
ring.
went to a Super Bowl and played great in that Super Bowl. Now, whatever you want to call him, like because he don't run no more, like he's a dual threat quarterback, plain and simple. Now, I think Devontae Smith is going to have a great year. I
Oh yeah,
think being the number one, I think he can carry the load as the number one because they do have limit on the other side.
yeah,
So there is it's still pressure taken off him from being like totally the number one. I think the whole AJ Brown thing, they just didn't get along, and it
yeah,
wasn't it worked well as long as it could, and then it just AJ Brown needed the ball too much, and we seen AJ Brown those last couple games where they just kept throwing him the ball. We had those 100-yard games, they lost. That's not how Philly plays.
yeah,
They play within the game, within the running game, within the defense. That's how they play. everybody had a down year at that point because they tried to force him the ball. Now, I think DJ Moore is just going to be such a target monster. I don't
Yeah,
think it matters, bro. I don't. I think he's going to get you about 10 targets a game,
yeah.
and that's on a regular basis.
I'm, I'm,
And
gonna, I'm not sure about a guy I know you love. Do you go DJ Moore or Jamison Williams first?
DJ Moore.
Okay.
I'm telling you, DJ
uh,
Moore, because James Williams is a number two. That's just
yeah.
uh, even in the conversation. DJ Moore is going to a team that hasn't had a bona fide number one receiver in about
Since the,
2 to 3 years since Diggs. And Diggs been gone for at least 2 years. So you telling me this DJ Moore
yeah.
ain't gonna come in there and get 150 targets? He gonna get all the targets he want because he didn't get it in Chicago. And you seen it's games where he got 0 targets in
Yeah.
Chicago, bro.
Crazy.
In a game.
Crazy. And that's
Like
why he left.
seriously. Like what did we talking about a guy that was putting 1,000 yards up in Carolina
Mm-hmm.
with Cam Newton? Like early Cam
What's
Newton.
that? Throwing a little Cam Newton shade right there.
No,
Nah, I'm messing with you.
or no shade. I'm talking in a.
Yeah.
I'm just saying MVP Cam Newton, the running Cam Newton. Like we talking about that Cam Newton, like
Mm-hmm.
who was running the ball a lot, honestly. So no shade.
Yeah.
The thing is, DJ Moore was been putting up numbers. It's just Caleb couldn't find him for some reason.
Yeah. I don't think he looked to him for a lot of, and
That part.
I don't know why.
0 targets, bro.
Yeah,
He's talking about a guy that got zero. I watched the game and he got
Yeah.
0 targets.
Makes no sense. So
He
how
was
early? You asked
literally-
me how early do I need to go grab DJ Moore from you?
Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. Look, honestly, you shouldn't worry about me.
uh,
There's some other people you need to worry about in those leagues. I can name two of them. They Bills fans.
okay. Well, then I know who one is for certain. But we're gonna have the mock draft next week, so I'm gonna get you to show your hand, or someone else would show it. Nita
No.
also is feeling you on the Jalen Hurts comment. Yeah, I don't know why he's getting that look. For me, if nothing else, he may not run like a lot of people think, but if they're within the 2 yard line, they're gonna tush push into some touchdowns, and that makes Jalen Hurts a viable quarterback by itself. I would read the rest about her talking about LeBron James, but
Yeah.
we don't talk about LeBron James here.
He was top of the brain, right?
We don't talk LeBron out.
Well, man, I just think
just-
it's crazy. I don't know what it is about people in Jalen Hurts, but like he's a winner. Like
Hey, exactly.
I'm trying to understand what's the hate about and why you hate this man. Like your biggest issue is because he's not throwing the ball, but y'all in no shade to Lamar at all. But we have seen Lamar throw for 3,200 yards and run for 1,200 yards. And y'all want to talk about Jalen Hurts passing the ball, and this dude has thrown for over 3,500 yards every year. Lamar has thrown for 3,100 yards. Do you remember when Lamar used to throw for 3,100 yards? Like, what are we talking about, man? Like, it don't make sense.
Who knows?
It's stupid to me, but yeah, it's another,
All right.
another day.
All right, so those are our wide receivers. We're gonna again post a full list for everybody in advance of the mock draft we're gonna do next week. So let's move from wide receivers to the running backs.
I love this list. I do.
Well, do you want to start this list for us?
Yes.
Who do you got as
Number
your top guys?
No, better question is, who is the top running back off the board?
That's a tough one.
No, it ain't.
Bijan just got all that money in his pocket.
I don't care about the money.
Chris,
Who is the top running back off the board right now? If you had a draft today, who are you taking off the board right now?
I refuse to say Christian McCaffrey because every year I root for Christian McCaffrey at the top. I jinx him and he gets injured. So I'm not going to do it to him. I'm not going to do it to your 49ers and say Christian McCaffrey because that would be the kiss of death
Look,
to
you're
him.
fine with that. No, you're fine with that because he's going to go based off the year he had last year. Somebody's going to do it.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of the top. I'm divided. Last year it it was Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs for me as the top running back off the list. I
I'm gonna
kind
catch
of
some
want to
hate in the
say,
comments
I say this. Part of me wants to go with a semi surprise like a James Cook, but based off the fact that they finally had a superior running back last year, but with the addition of DJ Moore that we just talked about, I feel like they're gonna make that. So I'm gonna just take the easy answer right now and say top off the board for me, just based off the fact that I don't like their quarterback change. I'm gonna say Bijan. Uh, they make him earn that check because they do not have, and not like Kirk Cousins or Penix were blowing it up a year ago, but I think they took a serious step down at quarterback. Bijan Robinson, number one off the board. Who do you got?
I'm gonna say, I mean, I'm gonna catch some hate in the comments, but it is what it is. Um, I'm going Jonathan Taylor off the board
That was
at number
another name I
one
was thinking of saying. Yeah, I'm not
because
mad at that.
when you telling me a player gets, he got the touches are there,
Yeah.
323, 1585, 18 touchdowns. Now, if you want to go and say because James Cook finished number one
Yeah,
as far as rushing, um, but if you ask me, I'm going Jonathan Taylor. Only because
I'm not
Jonathan
mad at
Taylor
that.
is gonna get touches, bro. And people, I can sound crazy. I can take the heat. Trust me. But I'm going Jonathan Taylor because I know
Hmm.
he gonna be right. And when he right, and they got one of the best offensive lines in the game.
Yeah,
Period. Period. Like ain't nobody better than their offensive line. So he gonna get the carries. He gonna get the touchdowns.
hmm,
And the only thing that really these other running backs, the Bijans and the McCaffreys and the Gibbs got him in, is receiving. And he
yeah,
still get you about 40 some receptions and about 400 yards and about three touchdowns. So he's still adding to those numbers anyway. So he's getting you about 20 some touchdowns most years
yeah.
when he's healthy. He's only been hurt
Did that
maybe
one
once,
year?
twice
Yeah,
that 1 year. Other than that, he's healthy. So I'm saying Jonathan Taylor off the board, number one. Everybody's gonna go Bijan, they're gonna go Gibbs, they can go McCaffrey. I'm cool with that. Y'all can have that. Look, no disrespect to those guys. I like those guys. I think they're
yeah.
gonna do great. I'm just telling you, Jonathan Taylor is number one off the board for me. E. And it's not even a question.
Do you think the healthy legs of Danny Dimes takes away any of the
No,
potential star
because he was
ability?
healthy.
Yeah,
He was healthy last year,
not the whole year.
and no, I'm talking about the time he was healthy.
Gotcha.
Jonathan Taylor was still doing it.
Yeah,
In fact, he made Danny Dimes look good because he was throwing the ball out the backstreet.
that's the doggone truth.
So yes, no, not even.
All
That
right,
don't change that.
so you got Jonathan Taylor at your top. Who else rounds out your top tier of running backs?
So Gibbs is two because Gibbs is gonna have the backfield to himself. Ain't nobody. I mean, they picked up somebody
They
to go
pick
beat him.
up Pacheco, but
Well, it ain't fucking like what are we talking about? I already said he gonna get a bulk of the carries anyway.
yeah.
So Gibbs, Bijan, and then I got McCaffrey, and then I got my long in the tooth, Eric
Uh,
Henry.
look, didn't he do it last year? Like, look,
Yes, he
we
did.
always talk about age on running backs. I don't even care about how. Look, Derrick Henry can be 472 years old. If he's
He's
there,
gonna.
he's going to be one of my top running backs
Yep.
because the man is indestructible. So,
He's built different. So you got to play it. You got
yeah.
to. And the crazy part is people gonna overlook him
Yeah,
again, like
in
they
a lot of
always
lists,
do.
I seen him as a tier 3 running back. I was like, in
Makes
no
no
sane
sense.
world is Derrick Henry a tier 3 running back. I don't care if he
Makes,
doesn't catch a single pass out of the backfield the entire
that's the problem.
year. He,
That is
he's going to
that. You
truck
know
over
what?
people. Yeah.
That's the problem though, because people look at it from a PPR
Hmm.
standpoint. But what you don't realize is he's outdoing the PPR running backs
Exactly.
every year. except for your McCaffreys and
Yeah.
Gibbs and Bijons. But when you take them out of the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
he's number one.
He's number one,
Literally.
and you're gonna get him at a discount because people, like we said on quarterbacks last week. I think people value the running quarterback a tad bit more than they probably should, and they give extra
Yeah.
points. And I'm like, look, a guy that throws the ball like Dak Prescott, I take over a running
Any day of the
quarterback
week.
because I know he's going to throw for touchdowns and that's going to win me a league. I say the same thing and welcome Orlando Lewis to the show. Hi. But I say the same thing about running backs catching out the backfield. It's important, but it's not the only look. Points are points, and quite frankly, a guy like Derrick Henry, if you don't have him any if you have him any lower than really for me tier one, but if you say outside of tier two and at the very top of your tier two, I'm gonna call you crazy because Derrick Henry has
That- Yo,
consistently
crazy. Anyway, when
been
you
a
sit and
top
tell
running
me,
back.
look, I get it. Everybody want the flash in the pan. They want the flashy guy. They want the
Yeah.
nothing wrong with getting the young up and coming or
Oh yeah.
established young running back. Wrong with that. But when you sit here telling me that you got Derrick Henry, who is guaranteed, and I promise you, this is a promise,
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed 1,500 yards at minimum most
Every year.
years. Yeah, it never changes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he gets used about 18 to 20 touchdowns a year.
Yeah.
And we ain't even gonna talk about the 200-yard games this dude be having on the
Uh huh.
worst time against people like me when I'm playing him and he goes for like 200 yards. And I'm looking at myself like, Lord, I was supposed to win this week, but
Mm-hmm.
this guy put up 200 yards. So it's like, okay, you know what? At the end of the day, y'all cool. But the thing is, in our league, it happens every year.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry gets pushed down so far, and nobody
Yeah.
thinks about the fact
People
that
sleep on it.
he's gonna finish top five every year at 1,500 yards. And the thing is, he's gonna break so many rushing records this year because he's like number 10. He's gonna move up to like number 6 this year
Yeah.
because he's gonna break so many other those records in front of him.
Look,
Yo,
and
that's
he's been
crazy.
doing it since high school, like
Yeah,
consistently. One of these years, it's gonna be wrong, but I'm perfectly okay with being wrong that year it happens. I don't think it's gonna be
so
this year. So
look, I would take him late rounds all any day of the week.
yeah,
Y'all can have him.
so yeah, give me him second, third round if y'all are gonna sleep on him. I take it. Um, some guys topping, so that's about six
Five.
ish guys.
That's fine.
Some guys
Five.
maybe the filling out the top 10. Who do you
So I
got?
got James Cook, excellent running back.
Mm-hmm.
A Chain, Saquon, Chase Brown, and Ashton Genty.
How did you not say Kyron Williams? That's your dude.
I'm sorry, Kyron Williams.
Okay, I want to say,
I
hold
love
up.
Kyron Williams.
I know you are
Yeah,
gonna
I love
not.
Kyron Williams.
Okay,
That's my guy. Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot about Kyron
I
Williams.
was, I was like,
Yeah,
he just slipped
see
and
on my
broke his
list.
head.
I'm sitting there looking at it. It's like okay, because I
I
had him and Ashton Genty and Kyron Williams. So I was like,
I figured he had to be on yours. That's
yeah,
why I wanted. Now the one name you said that I'm a little bit scared for this year is Achan because I mentioned how I
right.
didn't like the change they made in Atlanta. Malik Willis has me not even the least excited, and not only that, they don't have the Tyreek Hill, Jaden Waddle wide receivers. Now maybe HN can do it and be the focus of that offense. I'm scared for him. I'm scared for him because they kind of left the cupboards bare, and he's to me on an island by himself. Now we've seen guys like a Saquon Barkley be the only thing happening in New York and still excel when he was with the Giants. Maybe Achan has that potential as well. Is
I
that
would
what you're
say this.
believing?
Yeah, because think about it for a minute, right?
Uh,
You have nothing that's versatile at receiver.
he
You have
has
a
nothing.
quarterback.
Period. Yeah.
You have a quarterback who can't throw, and I'm being generous here,
Hmm.
but he's. I mean, if you watch those Packers games, and you have to be honest with yourself,
Hmm.
the Packers ran the ball 30 times every time he played. because they know he can't throw the ball. So when you think about it from a sense of A Chain is not just gonna run the ball, A Chain is gonna catch the ball outside of that backfield. He
He's
gonna
gonna
get
have to do it
so
all.
many man, he gonna give you
I
McCaffrey.
hope his body can hold up to it because
I'll tell you this,
yeah.
and we'll come back to this at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
McCaffrey had 1,200 yards receiving, 1,200 yards rushing, 900 and like 90 something yards receiving last year. That is the numbers A Chain gonna put up this year, just because they have nothing else, and their top receiver is Malik Washington.
Yeah. Like I said,
What are we talking
my
about?
my only fear about him, and he's been a
I mean,
guy who's
staying healthy,
consistently
yes,
he's consistently been a beast. Like you said, as long as he's healthy, and
yes.
I don't think that changes. I just know he's up against something he hasn't had to face where there's
I'm telling you,
there's no one but him. He's there by himself, and if he can't do it, the Dolphins
don't
can't do
don't
it.
be surprised if you get don't be surprised if you get 100 receptions this
I, I wouldn't be surprised if he's
year.
a look. How close can he be to being 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving? Because that's kind of what they're gonna need from him if they're gonna have any kind of success.
McCaffrey almost did it,
Yep.
but think about it. McCaffrey did it. McCaffrey was right there, and we didn't have not one receiver
Yeah.
last year, and that's the strategy they used last year. So you have Malik Washington as your number one receiver
That,
in your room right now. Malik Washington, who's a
yeah.
primary kick returner at best.
Yeah. I will say this. I have him uh, as a somewhat
What?
surprise pickup,
Who? But
Malik
no,
Washington, that is, as a late round guy that could be a stud with quotation marks around it, just because of who else. But I'm not betting my fantasy football success on him by itself. So I'm with you.
the only thing he might face is eight in the box,
Yeah,
honestly, because they got to force him willing to throw. So when they force him to throw, he gonna have to do something. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's why I got A Chain there. A Chain is gonna be good, and I don't know how late or how early you go get A Chain
mm.
because of that situation. But I'm telling you,
I,
you probably can wait and get him later before these other guys. Honestly, because
I
if you got a
I'm
backfield of A Chain and Derrick
seeing
Henry,
him
what you doing?
as somewhere between maybe the. I probably like him less than a lot of people, so I'm gonna say for me he probably goes somewhere between 8 and 12 on running backs,
Mm.
and some people might even have him higher than that, like you said, because of how much work he's gonna have to get.
The value gonna be there.
The
He's gonna
value's
get a lot
gonna
of
be
value.
there.
Yeah.
For me, I'm trying to think. I think I have at least 8 running backs ahead of him on my list.
Eight.
I have eight
Wait
on my
a
list
minute.
ahead of him, at
I
least,
don't have.
and I might have
I
more.
don't,
One,
I
two,
don't have.
three, four, five, six, 7, 8. Yeah, 9. Yeah, I got 9 guys I take ahead of him.
Okay, so
Bare
we're gonna
minimum.
play a game right quick.
Okay,
Jacobs or A Chain.
A Chain in a heartbeat. I am not.
Okay.
Look, and I love Jacobs ever
You know
since
what?
his running back days with the Raiders. Nah, I'm out on Jacobs this year.
Okay, ETN or A Chain.
A Chain by a heartbeat.
Chase Brown, A Chain.
That's where it gets tough because Chase Brown is that unsexy name who just produces every year.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was doing my 9, it was between him. Because I take Saquon Barkley ahead of Achan.
I agree with you on that.
I take Ashton Genty ahead of him.
That's only a biased pick though.
Nah, I think this would be a big Ashton Genty year just because for the similar reason. I think they kind of have to do a better job establishing the run. He was just short of 1,000 yards last year. I think he tops 1,000 this year. The other names we said before: Jameer Gibbs, Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, James Cook, Derrick Henry, Saquon, Kyron Williams, Ashton Genty. I take all of those, and then I'm split between Chase Brown and H. Comes down to the wire. I probably go with Chase Brown just because I feel there's a high ceiling. I feel he's only going to do so poorly. I am seriously concerned about the load HN's going to have to carry in this offense this year. So that might have
Right.
me
So I'm gonna give
skip.
you some numbers. Uh, so what week did Tyreek Hill get injured? Right off the top of your head.
Uh, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm guessing maybe 8,
Week eight,
7.
you say?
I don't know. I feel like it
What
was
he missed a
around
bunch.
mid
He missed a
season.
bunch of games. Okay, so let's say week eight. Um, HA literally was getting 100 plus, and he was averaging from week, well, every week basically. He averaged 4 more targets
Okay.
a game. Um, and I think that was after Tyreek Hill got hurt. And Waddle was hurt most of the year too
Yeah.
last year.
So
So,
maybe it's not a big
and
deal
how
that
many
those guys
quarterbacks
aren't
did they
there.
have last year? Because
Several.
I know Tua got
Yeah. Two.
benched at one
Yeah.
point. And I think they went to a rookie or two, and then they went to somebody else.
Mm.
So
That's a good point.
the
So
the
maybe I
rook-
don't need to be as concerned about him because he kind of had to carry that load a year
so
ago.
the reason I say that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So the reason I say that is if you're looking at like everything in a whole, Tyreek was gone half the year. Waddle missed. I know because I had Waddle. Waddle
Yeah.
missed some time too, and they had a couple different quarterbacks playing. So A-Chain did all of this with the quarterback issue, with the wide
With the
receiver
wide receivers
issue,
hurt.
and still he put up those numbers because he put up 1,300 yards
Yeah.
and 85 receptions. So, I mean, he was the focal point when all of that just went to fire. So he was the guy at that point. So to me, I think it's not that bad. If
True.
you said 8 to 12, I'm cool with that because I'm gonna snatch them between 5 and 8. So you do what you do. I'm just saying.
Oh, that
You look at
bad.
everything in the totality from everything he had to deal with last year from a standpoint of everybody missing. Because yes, I will give you it will be a little bit worse this year from a wide receiver standpoint, but also I think the quarterback is so bad that they not gonna let him
Yeah.
throw that he gonna rest so
They
much
gonna.
he gonna make up that for that anyway. So
I'm
for
not.
me, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not mad at that. I might take him over Chase Brown now. So maybe he, he moved up a spot. Welcome Catherine
I
Bracy
mean,
to
Chase
the
Brown.
show. By the way, hello to you as well. Thanks for joining
Uh,
us. By the way,
I mean,
shout
Chase
outs
Brown
to
had a good year,
yeah, he had
but
a good year.
I think
But baby, um, I see we got several members of the Women's Fantasy Football League joining us. They're going to be getting started along with the rest of the fantasy world. So hopefully they're getting their notes taken on some of these picks. We're going through all the ones we didn't get to previously, and we're going to post a full list. We're just hitting the big ballers, shot callers as we see them. Who's a guy outside of this top 10 or 12 guys that you are really big on? I know one of them because you kind of alluded to him earlier, but throw some names out there for the people.
looked it already. Um, I'm gonna say a sneaky guy, which I really didn't think he did well, but I am pleasantly surprised. DeAndre
Yeah,
Swift
that's a good one.
was was he was a quiet, good running back.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you who, in the midst of all of that, all the good the two receivers he got and all
Mm-hmm.
the throwing that team does. Javonte Williams, bro. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna hold you. Javonte
I'm trying to
Williams,
decide what to do with him. Yeah, I like that because that off. You talk about how the offensive
um,
line kind of makes
1,200,
the
11
team.
touchdowns.
Yeah, he was a late pickup for a lot because he had the best by far. He had the best season of his career. Uh,
Yeah.
where do you think he goes this year? I have him
I
sort
don't
of in my
know.
tier three because I was so much not expecting what he did last year, but I could easily have him at the top of my tier two based off what he did a year ago if I believe he's going to repeat that.
Because for me is I don't know how people really. It really depends on obviously what running backs go before him and what order it goes. But for me, you can put him in. He's a high tier two, and
Yeah,
he should go early in an offense that he's gonna
yeah,
be potent. The offense gonna get down the field, and they use him a lot once they get closer to the goal line when they want to score a touchdown.
yeah.
So for me, I'm saying 10 to 13, 10 to 12, somewhere around there.
I'm not mad at
He's
that.
he, he's gonna give you good numbers because
Yeah,
that offense is gonna be moving, so they're gonna be good.
yeah,
I'm mad at that, honestly. I think he's a good one. Also another one is Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker going to Kansas City because they've been looking for a running game
yeah.
for the last 4 years, and Pacheco just wasn't the call.
Pacheco
He
wasn't
wasn't
giving it to
the
them.
answer. So I think Pacheco gone, and he's there, and I think based off of what he did at Super Bowl, if he can continue that, then he got something. And plus, they're gonna help Mahomes with that. Basically, they need a good running back to
Yeah.
kind of take some of that heat off of him. So I can see Kenneth Walker being a steal
Mm-hmm.
in the draft. Honestly, what's your take on? I did see some news. Um, ETN
Yeah.
in that Saints backfield, but they just released Taysom Hill
Yeah. I
yesterday.
saw that. Um,
I think that's a great move, personally, by
okay.
releasing.
Why so?
Only because okay, think about it. When every time a Saints running back got to the goal
Yeah.
line, they brung in Taysom Hill to do some type of quarterback sneak in the backfield or something. He was a utility guy. I think when you think about it now, they going back to your regular
Yeah.
running back situation to where Alvin Kamara
We don't need the
or
tricks and the gadgets
yeah,
anymore.
we
We're
don't
gonna just yeah.
need none of that right now. We got two sturdy running backs. We got two good running backs that we can rely on. Now, my question to you is: they say they've been using AK in more of a
Yeah.
third down receiving role, passing role. Like, what do you put him in
Yeah.
quarterbacks as far as like draft capital? What do you draft him at?
Last year, I remember telling people I was out on ETN because he has not produced as people thought he was the whole time. He had a very good year last year. Um, he goes down to New Orleans and he's essentially going to take Alvin Kamara's job. But I still don't know how. I don't like the running back situation. For me, they had sometimes you have a two-headed monster like you had up in Detroit when you had the guy I thought you were going to mention, David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs, where they both eat
Well,
and they yeah
we talked about him earlier,
yeah we
but
talked
yeah,
yeah so
I don't know how I feel about him. So yeah,
sometimes the two-headed monster can be productive for you. I don't know what I think about this one yet. So for me personally, I'm probably trying to avoid running backs in New Orleans unless they're just sitting out there begging me to grab them because no one else is jumping at them. Uh, so I think you can get both of these guys pretty late. I think Travis Etienne and Alvin Kamara, if you want to take that shot, are good candidates for a we talked about the no running back strategy in the past, where you just
Mm-hmm.
pass on those top guys and just try to fill in with maybe number two running backs to fill your roster. That's why I see both of
I
those
can see
guys.
that.
I'm not putting out a. I said I always go heavy on at least one wide receiver. I try to get at least two of the top running backs. I don't see ETN being in that grouping, and I was wrong about him last year. So he can definitely prove me
Well,
wrong again for
well,
2 years. He can go two for two
well.
and say JJ doesn't know what he's talking about, and I'm not going to be mad at him, but I'm not taking a chance. What about you?
Well,
Where are you drafting him?
I look at it this way. If I'm the Saints, right?
Yeah,
I'm playing ETN as the number one running back. Obviously,
yeah,
he's going to
I
be your
agree.
first second down running back. I'm playing both of them,
Okay,
and the reason I say that because who is the Saints' second receiver? Can you name the Saints'
after
second receiver?
Olave, some other dude.
Okay, so
Yeah,
my point I'm trying to make is
yeah,
you can run really Alvin Kamara this late in his career. He
yeah,
still can catch, bro.
yeah.
Like he is
I
him and
think Travis
McCaffrey.
Etienne is the second coming of. He gives you all the stuff that Alvin Kamara gave you in his young years. So
But
he
I
can
feel like
run and he can
if
catch
you
out the
run Val,
backfield.
but not even out of the backfield.
Yeah.
If you run
Oh, you can just run
Kamara
him. Yeah.
in the slot,
Yeah.
you can start him in the backfield, obviously, but you can
Yeah.
motion him to the
You can.
slot and put him in the slot against a linebacker, and he's gonna destroy a linebacker because somebody got to focus
Yeah.
on him. Like, because obviously you're gonna have your first corner, your second corner, and there's gonna be a slot receiver. I mean, it's gonna be a slot corner or a linebacker that's covering Alvin Kamara. So if I'm the Saints, I'm playing both of them at the same
Uh,
because he's a matchup nightmare, just like McCaffrey is in his later days with us. He's literally a matchup nightmare.
true.
That's how I would play it. And honestly, Alvin Kamara would be. I'm not saying go and get him super early,
Yeah.
but if
No.
you was to get him late, I think that's a
He could
pure
be a bargain.
steal.
He could be a
Oh
very
my
good bargain
God,
for you.
it's a steal because he's gonna get you the receptions, even if he doesn't
Yeah.
get you the running. He's gonna be a threat in the passing game. So I'm just saying, I think it's a steal, honestly. If you're thinking about it in a sense like that, I
Okay.
think it's good.
I'm not mad at that. Let me ask you about two rookies in this draft class. Jeremiah Love, who's the consensus number one running back in, or maybe even player in dynasty leagues. But what about Jadarian Price, who
Hmm.
was a backup last year? But I think he landed in probably the best spot possible
The best
in
play.
Seattle because
Seattle.
Charbonnet is going to be hurt.
Yes, he
So
did.
and
Yep.
Kenneth Walker, who you just mentioned, is gone to Kansas City. So he's kind of. I don't think he's the same kind of player Jeremiah Love is, but I think both of these running backs can put in some serious work. Where are you drafting them, and what do you expect from them?
Well, I tell you this, Jeremiah Love is going to be in a situation where he going to get all the carries he wants. It's
Yeah.
not going to be anybody there to.
that
I
that
mean,
backfield is so crowded though, but I agree. I don't think there's competition.
that don't.
Look, James Conner has been that dude.
But
Uh,
James Conner is going to be a
Trey
mentor.
Benson's there. They picked up Tyler Algier. But yeah, Jeremiah Love is going to get all the work he
What they
wants. Yeah,
trying to put out? They trying to put out there that Tyler Algier is kind of going to be that guy
yeah.
starting off, and then Jeremiah Love supposed to come in. But I think
Okay.
that's whole smoke and mirror type
Look,
thing to
Jeremiah
where they
Love
don't
is
really
not
want
playing
people to
tomorrow
know.
night, and there's a reason
Oh,
why they're saving him. Yeah,
why? Thank you.
yeah,
Because Algier is playing probably tomorrow.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Vincent is probably playing tomorrow. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like they saving him for the season. So he's in a situation where he can get a bunch of work. I
yeah.
think Price is going to a team that has a great offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And they do want to run the ball. And
Yeah.
there's nobody there that's going to be in his way of running the ball. So how early, you asking the wrong person next when it comes to drafting rookies.
Right.
Um,
You swore never again.
oh, never again. Don't even worry about it.
Right.
That's probably the fantasy football. But I
Uh,
would tell you this: I wouldn't I see them going early, um, in some people's minds, but I'd let y'all take that risk on y'all own because I ain't doing it. So no, yeah, no. And look, go with your gut. If you
uh,
feel like, now if it's late and you playing a game where, you drafted a bunch of receivers and you need some running backs and they sitting there, by all means, go get them. But I wouldn't say go get them early
mm-hmm.
because I'm more of a guy, I need to see you prove it and then we can talk. But I can't do rookies. Rookies burnt me once and I ain't doing it no more. So,
Uh,
no.
I'm gonna ask you one last one. Not rookies, but two second year guys that had their seasons cut short with injuries either at the beginning or the end. Amarion Hampton and your guy Scatterboo. What about those two?
I like Scatterboo.
Uh,
Scatterboo crazy. Amari Hampton gonna get work. He has nobody.
yeah.
Again, it's his backfield.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna get all the work. Same as Scatterboo. Scatterboo can get all the work. So at the end of the day, but Scatterboo got to stop getting these head injuries.
Right.
That's the only thing. Like they say, he had 6 concussions last
Yeah.
year, bro. Like that's insane
I
to
mean, he
have six
uses his
concussions.
head as a battering ram. You
Man, his
you don't miss
head gonna be
sometimes.
fried, bro. By the year
Yeah.
five, he ain't gonna know
I
what,
say this: he ain't getting his fifth year option signed. Like, look,
bro.
once you're off
That's
that
crazy.
those rookie, like we're done with you because we don't know what is gonna happen with him after that.
I just hope, man, he don't have his brain be scrambled, bro.
Yeah,
Like by year four, like all them injuries,
yeah,
head injuries is real, bro. Like you gotta
mm-hmm.
live after this, and you just keep doing stuff and like running into people with your head down. You better learn how to get down or slide or do
Yeah,
something. But like, don't stop ramming in front of people. Like you stupid. Like what's wrong with you? I think other than that, I think he's a good running back. I
yeah.
think he's gonna get you, especially goal line carries. You can guarantee touchdowns there because he's a big guy. I like Amari Hampton though. Amari Hampton is a guy that you get semi middle round,
Mm.
just because he is a good starter. So I would say middle round definitely.
So, so,
Scatterboo you probably can get later than that though.
but you take both of them before the rookies, or does?
Any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
I ain't mad at you.
Twice on Sundays. Yeah. So to me, yeah, I can't do the rookies, man. I'll leave that for other people that believe in that. We got a guy in the league. He
Uh,
loves Jackson rookies. Let him have them. Like let him talk a hole in my ear about them on draft day. Talking about, man, he gonna do okay. I'll take my Derrick Henry for 200, please.
you got burnt once, you're done. You don't have to learn again.
You know that was a bad year. I
That
traded
was
half my team
yeah.
after that. I was like, man, the mid season, I was why you making so many trades, man? I can't deal with these rookies, man.
Uh,
It's like kids, bro. Like they head scratching. They do too much,
yeah.
man. It takes too long for
The,
them to get going. So no,
the rookies are great for dynasty leagues. Used
terrible for
very
redraft.
cautiously for redraft. Very cautious.
Yeah,
You can get one or
Lord,
two late,
but not
but
those
don't
five,
build your
six
team
of them.
around it. Don't build your team around it.
People do it. They crazy.
All right, so we've talked to you all about quarterbacks. Make sure you watch that last show if you haven't seen it already. We've gone through our running backs and wide receivers. That leaves tight ends, and traditionally, there's not a whole lot of these guys. I said,
No, I'm gonna
oh,
fight you on that one, though.
okay,
I'm gonna fight you on that one because
hands up.
I feel like tight ends have gotten the list has gotten a little bit longer,
Okay,
than usual.
look,
And obviously, your first 3 or 4 will always be your first 3 or 4. But I feel like you don't have to run up and go get these guys because
yeah,
you can get tight ends that can serve you quickly and get you some points. I mean, then your first three are gonna get you wide receiver numbers. But how are you
won't
really
they?
going up to get these
See,
tight ends?
that's the problem. For me with tight end, and that's really only two, maybe three. I think are worth what you have to, because for some of these you're gonna have to get them in the second round. If one in particular doesn't go in the first round, I have a problem. I would do that occasionally, but not often, but occasionally with a Travis Kelsey in his younger days.
Mm,
But the last
yeah.
few years for me, I'm like, y'all can have the top tight ends. I'm gonna sit back here and chill, and I just grab a guy because I said for wide receivers you can fill in. Tight ends, if you don't get a top guy, it doesn't really matter. You can just plug in a
Nope.
person because there's only few that's gonna give you, like Rodney said, those wide receiver numbers. And I start that with Trey McBride. Uh,
Jimmy Bragg, definitely.
Trey McBride is that dude. He was a wide receiver a year ago. Brock Bowers is another guy I think who can give you those kinds of numbers. Uh, Maybe a Colston Loveland, and that's more so because I feel there's not. I think it changes this year. Caleb
Yeah.
Williams, like we mentioned before, he was spreading around. They didn't have a single 1,000 yard guy with all the high power guys because everybody. I went through the wide receivers and tight ends and everybody on the Bears. Everyone had like 600 or 700 yards on the team because he was just spreading it that way. Maybe Luther Burden or Romo Dunze takes that 1,000 yard receiver. I think Caleb's going to need a 1,000 yard guy if he's going to get that 4,000 yard target that no Chicago quarterback has gotten. But for me, if I'm not getting Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, Colston Loveland, I put in a Tyler Warren,
I'm going
and
Tyler Warren over Colston Loveland.
I do too. And I put Kyle Pitts on this list because he was almost back at 1,000 a year ago.
He did a
Uh,
thousand.
No, he was that 900 and something, I think, a year ago. Check it.
Something like
Check.
that.
Hey, fact check me. I thought
Okay.
he was just under 1,000, but I could be wrong. But
Yeah, he was. You're right. Campus was. You're right.
yeah, but if I don't have one of those guys,
I'm gonna give you
I
one
said, who do
that
you got? Yeah.
that you can get late, and I feel like
Mm,
he gonna do work this year. To me, is Harold Fanning Jr.
yeah, that's a good
Like
one.
Harold Fanning Jr. is one that you gonna. I mean, he's not the talk of the town like these other
You
guys,
gon'
but
he gonna slide to you. Yeah.
he will slide down to you if you need one. Harold Fanning Jr. is definitely gonna get a lion share of work in Cleveland. Whoever the quarterback is, hopefully he
I was
does.
gonna follow up with that. What do you think about the quarterback situation there? Because I think that's the only thing that might scare some people away from Fanning. But
It don't scare me. I
he's on
think
my
Shador
list.
get the
He's
quarterback.
on. Uh huh.
I think Shador will win it. Just because I think they on a youth movement over there.
They
So
might as well be.
the only thing that stops Shador from starting is the $46 million that Sean Watson is making this year. But
Yeah.
if you want to really want to go youth movement like they're doing, you go Shador. Shador proven in camp anyway, but that's
Mm,
another story.
yeah.
But I think Harold Fleming Jr. is definitely going to be one that you can get fairly late. Cal Pitts is another one.
Hmm. Kyle
Ferguson
Pitts, you got
is
for a dime last year.
well. I got
Eh,
Cal
eh,
Pitts late. I
Yeah,
remember
I know because he was like nobody wanted any parts
nobody
of
wanted
Kyle
Cal
Pitts
Pitts.
last year. Yeah,
As soon as I got him, it's like, dang, right, I was about to grab him. Yeah, no, no, you won't. You won't win.
everybody was like pass, and then he put in work.
Laporta, obviously going
Laporta's
to be
another
there.
name
Um,
if he's not
and
hurt.
then, honest, when he's not hurt, and
Yeah.
then you're bet. Like, what's your take on Kelsey, and what's your take on Kittle?
See,
And what do you really draft him at this year?
you stole my question because I was gonna ask you about the old dogs. I was gonna say
Oh man,
Kelsey,
we've been doing together
Kittles,
for like 10 years.
Mark
I can't.
Andrews, even Dallas Goddard. All of these old cats. What do you do with them?
Mm.
I think for me, I'm not the young guys that we mentioned. I take all of them before any of those guys.
Yeah.
George Kittle for me just can't stay healthy enough when I say I hold grudges. George Kittle lost me a
We
championship.
know.
I was right in the championship game, and he just decided to do absolutely nothing, as in a zero, when I needed him for a championship. So George Kittle can't look. He can't pay to be on one of my fantasy football teams right now. I'm like, no,
Wait a
sorry.
minute.
I
Hold on.
got a
Wait. Time
bouncer at the door
out. Time
saying,
out. So
move on.
So he's on your no draft list.
He can never be on any of my
He's
fantasy
on your no
football
draft
teams.
list.
He's on my no draft list. He hurt me, and I can't take it.
Wow.
Um,
You know
Travis,
what? You
yeah,
know what? You know what? I kind of can. I don't know about the no draft list. I
look,
think that's a little bit too far.
it's a bit
Um,
extreme. I will say if I'm sitting, if I like I normally
yeah,
do, if I sit on tight end and I don't draft anybody, and it's like the 10th round and he's still there, okay, sure, I draft him then. But he's not my intentional tight end.
and I mean he is. I would say for me, if you're doing your top 10,
Yeah,
Kelsey Kittles is 9 and 10. You can flip them
yeah, they
however you want.
borderline. Yeah,
They're 9 and 10, no matter what. They're at the back end of that team.
but I take Kelsey
So for
before I take
me,
Kittles.
have you seen Kelsey?
Hey, Andy Reid said he's in the best shape he's seen him. I don't believe it.
Yes. I
I'm like, okay, Andy.
feel like you're a burger or two away from being fat, bro. Like, what are you talking about? You can't be serious right now. Wait a minute. Look, that married weight, that
Yeah,
marriage
right.
weight. Hey, bro. Hey, look, we know we got
Yeah,
different bodies.
yeah,
Like, who we talking about? Like, I got a whole dad body. I get it, son. But like, this dude,
yeah.
did you see about today, bro? He was
I was,
sprinting. They said Andy Reid got mad at him because he was walking. Like, yo, we need you to sprint.
I was like,
We need you.
like we looking at the film. You can't tell me that man is in good shape. But I'm gonna give him a pass coming off. He's on his honeymoon period. By the time the season rolls around, I'm hoping he's gonna be ready to go.
Yo, when I uh,
Yeah, but yeah,
bro, when I tell you, they was like, yo, he was walking like I was like, yo, this can't be Kelsey. Kelsey was walking. He was like, I really don't want to be here.
nah.
Like I was like, yo, Kelsey looked like he out of shape. He had too many burgers, too
Look,
many
he may not
vacations.
say it, but retirement is
But
going
he
all
ain't
through
locked
his
in this
mind right
offseason. I
now.
promise
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He couldn't have been. He was planning this. He was planning this wedding. He is as unprepared as he's probably ever been.
you. He didn't lock in, bro.
Nah, not even a little bit.
Nah, I was weak.
You can't tell me that
Oh my
football
god.
was number
Yeah,
one
but
or two or three on his list of things in this off season. But I will trust him to
that's
have it
funny.
together when it matters the most. Uh, you're gonna get Travis Kelsey at an unbelievable
I think he
bargain.
will too.
Yeah, you're gonna get him because that not too many years ago, people were arguing Travis Kelsey first round pick. Uh, you can put a zero behind that maybe this year before you have to draft him in leagues. I think it'll
Lord,
be worth it though. Yeah, Nita said Kelsey don't care anymore, and
give me
look,
one sleeper.
he a
Yo,
Oreo
yo,
away from being retired. I'm gonna
yo,
tell you that right now.
bro, that is funny. Give me one sleeper tight end.
Okay, one sleeper tight end. One.
You give me two. You give me two.
All
You
right,
got
cool.
two.
I can do two. Um, we mentioned Jake Ferguson, by the way. I think he doesn't count as a sleeper, but I just want to make sure, in case we missed it, that he
No, not to me.
belongs in that list of guys you should have drafted.
No, not to me.
Oh no, you look.
No,
Okay,
no. Jake Ferguson is not a sleeper. He's a guy that
yeah,
you
yeah,
should draft
you should.
early.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's not a sleeper. I just
Yeah,
wanted to make sure his name got mentioned before I go to sleeper.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna give you two names because you gave me the possibility of guys
Okay.
that you can check out and come in probably in your last round or maybe two because your kicker's your last round, but maybe two rounds before that. Oronde Gadsden with the Chargers, and
Like that.
I like the chance of Isaiah Likely being out of the shadow of
You get him
Mark
out there early, bro.
Andrews and possibly giving you some top numbers because I'm happy Malik Neighbors is back, but coming off his first year off injury, I feel he's going to need some little bit of help, and maybe the pressure gets off from Isaiah Likely because he was practically you could think of as a wide receiver type guy.
Mhm.
Uh, I think he can put up some numbers with the Giants.
I just want to tell y'all that, like, that question I asked him, how's it likely literally was the answer I was going to say.
Yeah,
But, that just shows you how long we've been doing this thing together. Um, because I was going to say how's it likely,
yeah,
but just being real with you. I think he's as likely in nobody else. I do like the
yeah.
Chargers rookie, but he can get
He can disappear on. He can give you
a,
wonderful games,
a
and
little
then
bit. That's my only concern is that he can get missing.
yeah,
Um, so I would say Isaiah likely. And I like Kincaid, man. I
I
don't know
like
why.
Dalton Kincaid too.
I think
You you
Kincaid.
you mentioned there's not a receiver that's going to compete with DJ Moore. There's a tight end who's not going to compete with DJ Moore, but if it's not DJ Moore, the most likely guy catching a pass to me is Dalton Kincaid.
I like Kincaid too.
Yeah,
I
I
do
like
like
Kincaid.
Kincaid. Uh, you know what? It's surprising though, man. Jawan Johnson,
I
man.
was good. See
Jawan Johnson has
that's
yeah. Oh,
he tends to be to me a bit touchdown dependent. Uh,
definitely, yes.
but I take that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, for tight end, if because you're gonna get Jawan. He was one of the top tight ends, and nobody drafted him a year ago.
Nobody.
And you'll probably get that opportunity again this year. So if again,
Oh,
if you're gonna sleep and just go zero tight end, Jawan Johnson better be on your list of guys to grab at the end because nobody else will. And look, I don't care how you get points. If he gives me points, I'm taking it.
I mean, it, it, Jawan Johnson had a year.
Yeah,
Um, than Tyler Warren.
yeah,
He had more targets than Tyler Warren. Well, no, he less targets but more yards.
mm-hmm, yeah,
Uh, but he had over 100 targets, man. This
yeah.
is
He,
crazy. Didn't know he was that like good.
yeah.
So
No
if
one
you really
does.
want to,
He,
as we would say in the fantasy world, play games, Jawan Johnson is definitely going to be sitting there for
yeah,
you because nobody's going to draft him.
yeah,
I mean, if they do, it's going to be so late that y'all gonna, you ain't gonna remember when he got drafted. To be honest with you, so
yeah.
for me, Jawan Johnson is definitely a sleeper. So
I like that
no,
pick.
I like that. I like that. Yeah,
All right.
he better have a prenup. Lord, I mean, it ain't like she need his money anyway.
Yeah, the prenup is all hers because
Yeah,
like she don't need none of his money at all.
ironclad.
So
Lord have
he
mercy.
look that man gonna be faithful because he, he married into the billionaire class.
You ain't lying.
So
Lord have mercy.
good for him.
Yeah. So we doing a mock draft next week. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we got to get some people up here to do a mock
we'll
draft.
put out the invites.
Mm-hmm.
Have our first guest of the year. You know what? I just posted our tight end list. So if and again these aren't the full list. We'll post a full one, but these are the top tier guys you're gonna look at, and then before we get to this mock draft, we're gonna put it out there so you'll know what's in our minds as we go into this draft. So
Yeah. So got to kind of we got obviously the third man is going to be here
yeah,
for the draft. Then we're just going to see we gonna have it live and good for y'all. So
yeah,
don't worry
it's
about it.
gonna be fun.
It's gonna be
Uh,
fun.
uh,
I mean, don't give away too many of your secrets, man, because we got a draft in like
we have
less than 20
we have a dynasty
20
draft this weekend. Are you ready?
yeah. Of course, I'm trying to trade all my picks, but nobody won't take them from me. But it's okay. I mean, Sydney, what's up with bringing that you, Sydney? Seventh round, what we doing?
Yeah, we gotta see.
Just saying.
So that's about it for tonight. Again,
Good.
Hall of Fame
I
game
appreciate that.
is tomorrow night. We're gonna get After a long drought, we're gonna get our first taste of football. It won't be good football. Hall of Fame game right now is the game that nobody ever wants to play in, but it is at least the start, and then we get more games next week. So it's exciting times. We're gonna be back every Wednesday from this point on. Now that there's actual games being played, there's stuff to actually talk about. So if it's Wednesday night, make sure you join us at 9 o'clock. And we'll try to help you guys get your football squads together. I just saw your comment from our producer. She said it ain't happening, dog. Move on.
She is quite a bit of nudge him to me. I tell you,
I like it. Well, hey, keep trying. Maybe you'll get some action mid-season trade. Not happening before Saturday though, but
I give you a fifth rounder.
yeah, I don't think that's gonna fly. We'll see.
Four.
At any rate,
They got thirds around here.
hey,
But
y'all do y'all negotiating off air.
I,
Thanks everybody for joining with us. Again, join us next week for the first mock draft. And we'll tell you all the stories of how our dynasty draft went.
yeah,
Hopefully, this is you were in the championship game a year ago in that
plan on
league,
being back too.
so this is the year for all of us to come up.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes from here. So
So y'all be good
y'all be
now.
good. Take care. Thanks for joining us. Join us again next Wednesday. Peace out.